If there is no struggle, there is no progress. This is a quote by Frederick Douglass. He was born in Maryland in 1818 into slavery. He never really knew his mother or his father. He was raised by his grandmother for a while until he was sold. He was sold around to a lot of masters in different places. And eventually, when he was older, he was able to run away and get his freedom, which is a story that a lot of slaves had at the time. And we're able to know this because he wrote a book, Narrative Life of Frederick Douglass, and it gives us a lot of insight to what it was like for a lot of slaves then and what his life was like specifically. Frederick Douglass is best known for his speeches and a lot of his writings. He wrote for newspapers, and he gave a lot of speeches on abolition throughout the United States. He wasn't afforded a lot of the luxuries that a lot of speakers and we are today. He wasn't given access to an education. None of his masters taught him how to read or write. He had one that taught him enough words to run errands, but when his owner's husband found out, they had him stop. So that's all that he was given. But Frederick Douglass understood more than anyone the importance of reading and writing, mostly because it gave him access to the news and newspapers, and if he had access to the news, then he could figure out what was going on in the world. So he would take what little allowance he was given, and he would spend it on candy to bribe school children to teach them how to read the newspaper, and eventually he was able to learn how to read like this, and this was really important to him because he was able to understand what was going on in the world and the importance of being informed, and it gave him hope. I think one of the gravest injustices that we do Frederick Douglass today is that we teach his book, and that's not to say that it's not a great book, because it is, and it's very informative, but a lot of what Frederick Douglass was about was his speeches. He gave speeches all over America, and he was able to influence thousands, and his speeches are so powerful because he understands the importance of every single word, and you can tell that he means the message that he's trying to get across. He was a consultant for Abraham Lincoln. He was able to convince Abraham Lincoln to let slaves fight on the side of the Union. He also convinced Lincoln that the Civil War should be about and was about slavery. Frederick Douglass is one of the most inspiring speakers, and his words are really meant to be heard, and anything that you hear by him is so moving. And he was a scholar. He knew about American politics, but also about Irish politics and British politics. He really understood more than anyone, unfortunately, that America was built on slavery and colonism and sexism. But he also understood what America could become, its potential, how important it was to the developing world to see all of the progresses in liberty that America had accomplished. And that's why his works are still really relevant today.